Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YouTube channel of Get Set Law by IMS. I'm your verbal ability mentor, Sanjana Man, and today let's decode another editorial. If you've been following us, we have done a couple of editorial videos, decoding them, understanding them previously. So it's definitely going to help you all the more if you go and take a look at those videos at least. This is also going to, increase your daily count of reading articles, right? So right off the bat, we'll begin by taking a look at what all we can derive from today's session. Not only are we going to learn the main ideas, which is what the main purpose of reading articles is, because we're not just reading for the sake of it, we're reading because we also want to see if we're able to understand the important ideas, right? And if obviously there are some foreign words, fancy words, you will also get to learn a couple of vocabulary words as well. And lastly, we will also see if there's a need for us to skim through the passage. Skimming here implies that, there's paucity of time, and will you be able to read the entire passage within the time limit given, or do you really have to skip information which is not that useful? Now, before we begin, there's a common question that I've been asked, which is, ma'am, generally when you decode these editorials, there is a title given. Now, how can we still understand a passage when there is no title given? Now, to this, my response is going to be that, in CLAT and AILIT, we don't have passages given with the titles, which by extension also means that you are expected to understand the passage without the title, and it's also possible to read and understand the passage without a title. And how exactly do you go about decoding an article or an editorial is to always focus on the introduction and conclusion, right? Always focus on these two, ideas. One is given at the beginning, the other one is obviously the conclusion. Very often the conclusion can be given somewhere in the middle of the passage as well. And then apart from this, you have to focus on the transition words or connectors. What are these connectors? These are your buts, yets, and then you have however, you have although, despite, in spite of, etc. Because they will always introduce a contrasting piece of information or a surprising fact, right? And over and above this, you have to focus on the keywords. Now, you might still ask, but ma'am, what exactly are these keywords? To me, these keywords are more like adjectives that help us decode the author's opinion or the author's 2 cents on the main topic. Okay. Now, how do you still find yourself in a position where you can automatically sense that, okay, this is an important piece of statement for me to read? It is something that comes through regular reading. If you read regularly 5 to 6 articles daily, which also includes solving several RCs and logical reasoning passages, you will see that, automatically, intuitively, you can tell, okay, this is a very important piece of information, because through a plain reading of this information, I'm able to understand what the main idea is in the passage as is being conveyed by the author. Right? So focus on that. Yes, it's very much possible to read the passage, comprehend it fully without a title also. And that being said, let's take a look at today's, editorial, which is something, you can always expect something along this line or something of a similar nature to be asked in the logical reasoning section of the CLAT examination. If you just take a cursory look at the passage here overall, you would see a lot of statistical facts. So I can definitely frame inference-based questions. I can frame a main idea-based question. I can frame a negative question, which of the following cannot be inferred from the passage. I could also frame a strengthening question. I can frame a weakening question. So just like that, I can, very easily frame 6 questions out of this passage, which is actually very short. It's very brief, which means, does it merit skimming? Not really. If you're already having a good reading speed, you can just choose to read and understand the entire passage within 2 minutes. That's my guarantee, right? If you've been very consistent with your preparation. But today, let's do something different. Let's imagine as if the title here doesn't exist. Imagine as if this underlined portion is not existing. And let's just think that this is all we have as is given in the passage, okay? Now, there's a first line given, which if you want, you can skip. It's because, right off the bat, I can automatically spot the transition word yet. Because now this statement is going to tell us what the main idea is about. Yet, many women, mostly in small towns, are employed in jobs that do not give them full play to their potential, while some others do not work at all. Which means we're talking about unemployment, okay, amongst women in India. And there's a paradox here. So I can frame a paradox-based question also. The paradox is striking that this is a country, India is a country which produces educated women but fails to use their potential. So despite education being prevalent amongst women, literacy rates being prevalent amongst women, we are not really utilizing their full potential and not tapping into it, right? We're not employing them fairly, right? Now, read further. So, you see how quickly I have recapped this entire first paragraph. You can also call it the introductory paragraph. So, large number of women are underemployed. Okay, that's a key word. Okay, so what is unemployment? What is underemployment? That is not given in the passage. What I would suggest is do not still assume anything in a vacuum. Okay, just wait for an information in the passage to tell you the difference between unemployment or underemployment. But the key word here is so a large number of women are underemployed. What does it mean? The definition is sort of given, which is technically they are working, but without the dignity, scope, and opportunities their education deserves. What it means is, for example, somebody has pursued a course in law and now that person is serving as a janitor of a place, right? So it's a hypothetical situation, but this is exactly what it's trying to say. That technically the person is hired, the person is drawing wages, but at the same time, that's particular designation is not doing justice to the education of the person, right? So there's underemployment. Okay, its roots lie. Now the factors are given. What are the causes of underemployment? Motherhood penalty, career breaks, topographical limitations, societal expectations. Okay, now you don't really have to understand what topographical limitation is per se unless there's a question on it. Okay, so it's not only an economic problem but a women specific too, because yes, we're talking about women here. All right. Now, at its core, underemployment reflects how traditional gender roles still dictate a countless number of women's lives. Okay, important information. All right. Now, there are some stats given which, if you want, you can sort of choose to skip it. Right. So, it just shows that women's employment rate has grown. Yet, again, you have a transition word. Employment statistics are misleading. It does not really reflect the true picture. They measure quantity and not quality. Again, we are focusing on the idea of, I'll just write it here, underemployment amongst women, right? Because we focus more on the quantity and not the quality. An example is also given. So if you want, you can chuck the example because I had already explained what essentially underemployment here means. Again, you have another connector. However, these numbers conceal underemployment. The same idea being repeated, which means you can skip it. Okay. Now, what are the consequences of unemployment? Psychological to economical, they vary, right? India does invest in education, but it is not able to give jobs to women on the basis of their potential and qualifications. Don't you see that much of the ideas here are quite redundant, ideas that we can automatically infer without even reading every statement explicitly here? Okay, then again, India could add a lot more to its GDP by closing gender employment gaps. So another idea is that there is a gender employment gap. We can definitely bridge the gap, right? How? By ensuring that more women join the workforce and those who are working fully and fairly employed. Okay. Now, again, another research has been presented. This time it's the research of the author, right? And it shows that 2/3 of underemployed women experience lower well-being. Again, the consequences of underemployment than unemployed women. Okay. All right. So what I would want to do is, there is a difference, and the passage has already established that difference between underemployment and unemployment. Underemployment is when you're technically employed, but you're still not able to get a job which actually justifies your education, while unemployment is not employed at all. But still, 2/3 of the underemployed women experience lower well-being than unemployed women. So this is a very telling piece of information. This is exactly what I mean by a keyword. This is what you need to focus more on. All right. Now, this shows that the quality of a job can make a huge difference. Another very important piece of information, because some more consequences of underemployment are given. Leads to low self-esteem, confidence, right? Chronic stress, identity loss, right? Corporate India also, women are 3 times more likely to reach out for mental health support than men, which is a testament to the psychological toll that underemployment can take on them, right? That's it. If you want, you can actually skip the last part also, because this too is statistical piece of information which you can rely on if there is a question popping up. So you see, on the whole, the passage looks like it's quite lengthy, right? It's wordy, but there are in total 4-5 pieces of information only, which you just have to read that and you'll understand the passage. Now again, that confidence comes with regular reading. right? So that's all there is to the passage. If you have any doubts, you want more inputs, there is something else that can be done at my end. For example, you could just let me know that, ma'am, we want something of a different nature this time, a different genre altogether. I'd be more than willing to come up with those new articles as well. So that's about it. Thank you so much, students. Have a great day.